Assalamu alaikum. This is Shauruk Mujumdar welcoming you to the English news from Btv-Chattogram. Let's begin with the top stories. Newly elected MPs, cabinet members to take oath tomorrow. Army Chief paid courtesy visit to Chief Advisor Professor Muhammad Yunus. Newly elected BNP MPs pay tribute to martyred President Ziaur Rahman and former Prime Minister Khaleda Zia. Eleven killed in Gaza strikes as Israel and Hamas exchange blame for ceasefire violations. And Bangladesh A clinched semi-final berth at Women's Asia Cup Rising Stars tournament with thrilling last-over win against Thailand in Bangkok. Those were the top stories. Now moving on to the details. The oath-taking ceremony of the new Prime Minister and members of the 13th National Parliament's cabinet is set to be held for the first time at the South Plaza of the National Parliament complex. President Mohammad Shahabuddin will administer the oath to the members of the Council of Ministers tomorrow at 4 p.m. On the same day at 10 a.m., 297 newly elected members of Parliament will take their oath at the Parliament building. The new Prime Minister and cabinet members of the BNP-led alliance government, which secured a majority in the 13th National Parliamentary election, will be sworn in. After the swearing-in of the new MPs, the parliamentary parties of the Bangladesh Nationalist Party (BNP-led alliance) and the Bangladesh Jamaat-e-Islami-led alliance will elect the leader of the House and the leader of the opposition. Several thousand local and foreign guests, including top representatives from SAARC member states such as Pakistan and India, are expected to attend the oath-taking ceremony. A special entry route has been arranged for invited guests. Centering on the ceremony, the entire Parliament complex has been placed under a security blanket. Not only the South Plaza, but every surrounding intersection has been secured with multiple layers of security. An extensive security arrangement has been put in place through coordination among the Special Security Force SSF, RAB and the police. In addition to plainclothes intelligence surveillance, CCTV cameras and drones will also be used for monitoring. Officials concerned have said that all preparations will be completed by tonight. Chief of Army Staff General Waqar-e-Zaman today paid a courtesy call on Chief Advisor of the interim government, Professor Muhammad Yunus, at the Chief Advisor's office in the city's Tejgaon area. During the meeting, they exchanged greetings and briefly discussed various matters related to performing responsibilities during the interim government's tenure. Professor Yunus expressed his sincere thanks and appreciation to the Army Chief for the cooperation extended by the Bangladesh Army during his tenure, particularly during the National Parliament elections. After nearly 2 decades, BNP is set to form the government once again with an absolute majority. BNP senior leaders are viewing the victory as a significant turning point in the country's democratic history. They describe the landslide victory as the end of more than 1.5 decades of authoritarian rule. According to BNP leaders, the mandate is not merely an opportunity to assume power but also a profound responsibility, as the party now carries the weight of the people's trust and high expectations. They said an effective system of governance can be established by combining the wisdom and administrative experience of senior politicians with the energy and modern outlook of younger leadership to meet public expectations. Senior BNP leaders also said that following the party's landslide victory in the election, BNP now stands at a historic juncture. The time has come to reduce political divisions and introduce a new model of governance based on national unity, they said. Newly appointed Cabinet Secretary Nasimul Goni has said that the oath-taking ceremony for all members of Parliament elected in the 13th National Parliamentary election and for the members of the Council of Ministers will be held tomorrow. He said this while talking to the journalists today at the Secretariat regarding the formalities of the oath-taking ceremony for the newly elected MPs and Cabinet members. Earlier, the Ministry of Public Administration issued a notification appointing Nasimul Goni, formerly Senior Secretary of the Ministry of Home Affairs, as the Cabinet Secretary. Meanwhile, Housing and Public Works Advisor Adilur Rahman Khan said that 37 official residences have been prepared at the Secretariat for members of the BNP-led cabinet formed through the 13th National Parliamentary election. He added that the necessary renovation works on the residences in the ministers' residential areas at Bailey Road and Minto Road in the capital has been completed for the new ministers. BNP Chairman Tariq Rahman conducted courtesy visits to the residences of Bangladesh Jamaat-e-Islami Amir Dr. Shafiqur Rahman and convener of the National Citizen Party Nahid Islam yesterday, following the BNP's landslide victory in the 13th National Parliamentary election. The meetings were framed as a positive political beginning in post-election Bangladesh, aiming to foster dialogue and cooperation. Dr. Shafiqur Rahman welcomed Tariq Rahman by presenting him with a bouquet of flowers when BNP chairman reached the Jamaat Amir's political office at his residence in Bosundhara residential area. They discussed contemporary issues and Jamaat-e-Islami congratulated the BNP chief as the future Prime Minister. Later that evening, Tariq Rahman visited the home of NCP convener Nahid Islam on Bailey Road in the capital. Nahid Islam welcomed him and they exchanged greetings in a gesture of political cordiality. Both meetings were attended by senior leaders of the respective parties. Newly elected lawmakers from the 13th National Parliamentary election today paid tributes by placing wreaths at the graves of martyred President Zia Rahman and former Prime Minister Begum Khaleda Zia at Ziauddin in the capital. Among those who paid homage were Ishrat Jahan Alan Bhutto, lawmaker from Jhalokati 2, Mustafizur Rahman from Nauga 1, 6 newly elected lawmakers from Bogura, Shahjahan Chaudhuri from Cox's Bazar 4, and Mohammad Akhtaruzaman Mia, lawmaker from Dinajpur 4 and others. Following the tribute, special prayers were offered seeking eternal peace for the departed souls of Zia Rahman and Begum Khaleda Zia. The newly elected lawmakers expressed their commitment to build a discrimination-free, democratic and humane Bangladesh in the days to come. Now international news. Palestinian civil defense and health officials reported 11 people were killed in Israeli strikes in Gaza on Sunday morning. The Palestinian Red Crescent said a strike on a tent encampment in northern Gaza killed at least 6 people, while another strike in the south of the Strip killed 5. The Israel Defense Forces said it had struck terror targets in response to ceasefire violations by Hamas and that militants had been killed after emerging from a tunnel into the area of the Strip controlled by the Israeli military. Both Israel and Hamas have accused each other of near-daily violations of the ceasefire agreement since it took effect on 10th of October. Gaza's civil defense said 11 people had been killed in the strikes, while staff of the Al-Shifa hospital said a 12th person was killed in an exchange of gunfire separate from the airstrikes. The Hamas-run Gaza Health Ministry has said at least 600 people have been killed since the ceasefire went into effect. At least 32 people were killed in a wave of Israeli airstrikes across Gaza earlier this month, according to local officials. The latest strikes came as the preparations continued for the implementation of the second phase of a U.S.-brokered ceasefire agreement. Iran's foreign minister met with the UN nuclear watchdog chief ahead of talks between Washington and Tehran aimed at resolving a decades-long nuclear dispute. Washington has ordered a second aircraft carrier strike group to the Middle East in the latest standoff with Tehran, in addition to other U.S. warships and aircraft that have already been deployed. Adding to the tension, Iran began a military drill on Monday in the Strait of Hormuz, a vital international waterway and oil export route from Gulf Arab states, who have been appealing for diplomacy to end the dispute. The U.S. and Iran renewed negotiations earlier this month, hoping to tackle their dispute over Tehran's nuclear program.